Hello and welcome to the SME Focus show powered by MTDCNC. I'm Mark Weymouth from the Sensor Specialist Plus Automation. On this week's show, as always, we aim to highlight aspects of UK manufacturing or topics of interest to SMEs. Therefore, my guest today is Curtis Bligh, Head of Marketing Communications at Excell Metal Spinning. Curtis, as I imagine some of you know, is famous for his LinkedIn posts with videos of metal spinning. Well, he certainly wastes enough of my day posting them, so I hope other people enjoy them too. Hi, Curtis. Welcome to SME Focus.
Hello, Mark. Good to be on the show.
Thanks for coming on. So I've mentioned LinkedIn already, so I'm going to start by saying that LinkedIn tells me you did a first-class honours in marketing from Portsmouth Uni in 2021.
Yep.
I usually try and embed a musical reference point somewhere into each episode, so I'm going to pick that as the point and say that Ed Sheeran was number one with Bad Habits for most of July. Most of August.
Yeah, I'd say I graduated from 2021. A good song that was as well. From Ed Sheeran. My friends tease me and say I look like a bit like Ed Sheeran, my ginger beard and whatnot, but. But in 2021, I graduated with a first class honours in marketing. Bit of a strange and turbulent time because it was also when we were going through lockdowns and whatnot. COVID was a big thing back then as well, and it was a bit of a not sort of unique experience I would get of a typical uni, especially my final year, but. Yeah, I mean, university really did give me that drive, though, in those final few years to jump straight into industry and really start applying what I've learned throughout the course. I've always been passionate about creativity, storytelling, and obviously it's great to bring that and everything I've learned into manufacturing and obviously help modernise how we present traditional British craftsmanship through brands like Excell.
Brilliant. So what attracted you to go and study marketing first of all? What was the sort of the passion behind wanting to go into marketing, and had you always got an interest in manufacturing as well?
I think it was a case of, throughout my whole school life, I was determined to be an RAF pilot, a fighter pilot, and I was determined. I thought this is the career path I was going for, and this, that, and the other. I looked at in college level, what courses I needed to complete and things like that, maths and physics and whatnot. And I'm not ashamed to say it, I didn't do too well on my first year of college. Like many others, I think it was 2012, 2013, that year group where it was a high level of failure rates and things like that. And it sort of really set a step back in terms of my plans. I was doing part-time work anyway in marketing at Excell. At the time, Excell had a marketing manager, and they were looking for someone to really take the step up and bring in social media, for example. So it was something I was exploring about, and so I looked at that first year as a bit of a learning process, and I decided to go back and I studied business management along with English literature. I'm glad I did, to be honest, because I learned so much, and I found my passion for marketing then. At the same time with Excell metal spinning, and it was a bit of a weird one because I was doing bits for Excell. I was helping out my friend's business, starting his business up in the music industry, which promoted local music talent. So I was sort of experimenting with different philosophies and different techniques in marketing that I would learn from scratch and apply that in the work I was doing. But I think it was the more I was marketing for Excell, the more I was finding my passion for manufacturing then. And it was then going into university and applying that, going into a marketing, obviously marketing degree, and really finding myself a bit more as well. And the first 2 years of the uni degree, a lot of what the course was teaching me, I'd already applied in real life with Excell. So I was like, I'm familiar with this technique. I'm familiar with this process, and so it was sort of the third year that I learned. It's sort of it plugged the gaps in my knowledge of marketing more so. But yeah, throughout the marketing degree, I was fortunate enough to speak with John Pierce at Made in Britain, After completing my first 2 years at university in a 3-year course, there was the option of having a placement. And I spoke to John up in Liverpool on one of the networking events. And I was speaking to John, I was like, would it be possible to do my placement at Made in Britain? And he said, why not work part-time there and just finish your final year and work part-time at the same time? I thought, okay, I'll do that. So my final 3rd year was literally a case of working part-time at Excell, working part-time with Made in Britain, and doing my dissertation all in 1 year. So there weren't much time for partying, put it that way.
And I'm assuming most listeners know about Made in Britain, but can you explain a little bit about it and then what you did there and how you found it? And I noticed that Excell is also a member of Made in Britain, so I guess you must have found it useful. But tell us a little bit about Made in Britain, if you would, please.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of my placement year or my work year with Made in Britain, I was there for a couple of years. It was, I'd say, quite a pivotal moment in my career. Obviously, during that time, I worked closely with a variety of SMEs, small family-owned businesses, to even large, well-established companies. I think the biggest takeaway for me was seeing that passion and innovation behind British manufacturing, and just to understand how important it is to preserve and celebrate these industries. And they do so much in promoting British made, what it stands for, the quality, the longevity, even the sustainability in the industries that we have here in the UK, and we're fortunate to have. And it's been of immense value as well as a member for Excell Melt Spinning. The networking, the credibility it provides are really significant for our business. I mean, it connects us with like-minded businesses. The mark on our marketing material sends a strong message to our customers about the quality, the heritage, even the sustainability that we're offering as a craft. But it's not just about being part of a network as well. It's about a community that champions British manufacturing and everything it stands for. So yeah, we're really, really proud to be members of Made in Britain.
Okay. So the real reason for being on, I'm guessing more so though, is Excell Metal Spinning. So yeah. I think you've been there over 12 years in total, because you mentioned you sort of were there before your degree and during your degree and after your degree, etc. So many years. So you're a marketer, you've been there over 12 years. So surely to goodness you can tell us what Excell Metal Spinning does. So go on, now's your elevator pitch, and then plus a few more minutes. What does Excell?
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, it's. I mean, metal spinning. It's one of those processes not many people have heard of, and it does often, unfortunately, go under the radar at times. So my challenge as a marketer can be a bit tricky. I'm wearing 2 hats at the same time. I'm being the educator as well as the promoter, so I'm always in that role. But in simple terms, it's a metal forming process where we take a flat disc of metal and we form it into a round shape. So think of lampshades all the way up to missile heads. So it varies massively. So we do this by spinning that disc, clamping it to the headstock and tail stock of the mould, spinning at high speeds, and we use a spinning roller, we call them, like a hand tool. On the CNC version, it's all pre-programmed, but we use that spinning tool to basically form that material over the predefined mould that gives it its shape. But yeah, we use it to make all sorts of components. Like I said, we've made precision parts for the defence industry, even decorative pieces as well. And we've been fortunate to be involved in some big projects. The globe piece, for example, for the William Hill World Darts Championship trophy, we were involved in that project. We've been commissioned for multiple finials, one of which is at the Woking Peace Garden. Imperial College London as well. They've commissioned us for bits and pieces, one of which is orbiting the sun on a mission up in space. So yeah, it's been quite a unique experience as well for what we've done. But ultimately, it combines the precision of engineering with the skill and feel of traditional hand trade. And I think that's what makes it really special.
And what would be the sort of the higher volume runners, whether that's a particular repeating part or just a repeating customer? Where would you say your core market is?
I think there's three markets that probably stand out. It's the oil and gas, the HVAC industry, and engineering, general engineering work, OEMs. We're regularly commissioned to make hundreds of parts. We've had blanket orders received this year. That goes well into June of next year. So those are sort of the bits and pieces, the industries that we're catering for, and they could be your general bit like spark arresters to your oil and gas sleeves. So they're the bits that you see oftentimes on our CNCs day in, day out. Yeah, we're fortunate to have customers like that who support us throughout the entire year. So yeah, we're very fortunate.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about the company history and where you're based?
Yes, so we're based in Portsmouth. The current managing directors, Lee and Neil, they formed the business in 2000. Obviously, we're known for our work in precision metal forming. Again, it's essentially taking sheets of metal and transforming to various bits and pieces, components, you name it. But we promote ourselves as a one-stop manufacturing shop. So not only are we pushing the metal spinning side of it, but we're also into CNC machining, fiber laser cutting, CNC turning, you name it. So we want to be that one-stop shop that a business can go to and rely upon for their supply chain for all sorts of components. As for our customer base, it varies massively. We've got a wide range of industries we support. Engineering businesses, like I say, your HVAC businesses, to even your automotive, agricultural, construction, defence industries, you name it. So, yeah, these are all customised solutions. So we don't make our own parts until now, which I'll talk about a bit more later. But yeah, we have the ability to scale up when needed. So and it's something that our customers are typically looking for in terms of quality as well, and obviously the bespoke package that we offer. But I think a lot of our customers, if you were to ask them, they do really value that UK-based family company aspect within their supply chain. And we're all about bringing the best of British manufacturing into everything we do. So, yeah.
Okay. If I'm not asking you the same question a different way, hopefully not, but how would you say, or what makes Excell stand out? How do you differentiate yourself from the competition?
I think that is a really important question, like I say. In a crowded industry, it's essential to differentiate ourselves, and I think Excell stands out for a few key reasons, to be honest. I think first and foremost, it's our commitment to craftsmanship. We've built our reputation on traditional techniques like metal spinning, as you've seen in our videos, which is incredibly precise and it's incredibly hands-on. But we don't just rely on the old traditional techniques, and then we're talking about skills that have been passed on from generation to generation. They've been throughout the history of British manufacturing. We've invested heavily in modern technology as well to enhance the quality, the speed of work, the consistency. Things like the fiber laser cutter, for example, or even stepping into the world of robotics with our latest CNC metal spinning lathe. All these have been carefully thought about as to how do we take this company to the next step, to that next level? How do we tailor our service to improve it even more so for our current customers and even potential customers? So all this is something that we've taken into consideration. I think as well, what really stands out with us is our customer-centric approach. And I don't like to sound too cliche because every kind of business pretends to be centre of the customer's attention, that sort of thing. But we really focus on understanding that unique need of each client and offering a solution to that unique need. Customer surveys, talking to them on the phone, meeting them in person, all this information that we gather from our customers, we've then gone away and worked on an action plan to make sure that actually goes through. So one of the biggest issues we found within our industry, not just ourselves, we're a small team as is, dealing with over 500 customers in any time, with tens of thousands of different components we're dealing with. But one of the biggest issues that customers tend to have in our industry is the level of communication from their supplier. And so what we did was we looked at how can a customer find out where their product is without actually having to phone us up and ask where it is or email for an update. So we took inspiration, funny enough, from some of that Domino's pizza tracker.
Yeah.
And it's similar in effect, you've got something round that's in the oven type thing. So we wanted to take that approach. And so customers can now actually log into our website using their email. Their emails have been assigned to their purchase orders with us. And they can actually see not only the purchases they've got live with us at any one moment, but they can see exactly where those components are on our production line. And not only will they receive, obviously, the acknowledgement date, which we give them when they place the order, but they can actually see the estimated completion date. So they can actually ascertain whether they're going to get their parts early, or in some cases, they might be a day or two late. But they'll have that information 24/7. And it's important that they have that information, because a lot of the time our customers are dealing with other customers or are part of a bigger project or an assembly. And they need to be able to sort of adjust their deadlines, meet targets, you name it. So having that information at the sort of in their hands, so to speak, is crucial for a lot of supply chains. And that's something that we want to really convey and push forward. It is that customer portal. And like I say, that came into effect June last year, and we're still making tweaks, and even now as we speak, to make it even more accurate, even more real-time data. Things like we're looking at portable scanners to update real-time tracking and things like that. All this technology we're looking to integrate and sort of take this company next step. And we're proud at the moment to say that we're the only UK metal spinners to offer this customer portal service. So it's something that really makes us stand out, and our commitment to that customer, I think, is something that we'll take forward and continue to grow and learn from our customers and about their needs and address them accordingly.
Okay. So we've talked about the more traditional component manufacture, but a big part of the reason for reaching out to you to ask you to come on was when I saw your announcement that Excell is going to start manufacturing premium cookware with the Heritage Collection, or making posh pans, as I might say.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the inspiration behind the collection and really how it ties back into the company's legacy or the manufacturing process's legacy? And I guess I'm going to ask again, what makes it different from other cookware brands out there?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we've always talked about eventually one day producing our own product range, but we wanted to obviously do something that's quite significant. And this Heritage range of products is something we're really, really excited about. There's a lot of potential for this, and it does represent a major step forward, a major milestone in this company's history. The inspiration, I suppose, comes from our deep-rooted commitment to that. I mean, British craftsmanship. I keep talking about the British craftsmanship and the traditional metalworking techniques, and looking to create a modern twist to it as well. As a business, we've always been passionate about producing quality, long-lasting products, and I think cookware definitely fits that philosophy. I mean, the history of cookware is deeply ingrained in the history of metal spinning. Metal spinning was always traditionally used to make cookware products, even jewellery and things like that in the past. So, I mean, we're dating this back, this traditional craft, back as far as ancient Egypt, when the first early known hieroglyphics depicted the craft itself. So, I mean, we can see the deep ingrained heritage, and that's why the name came about. It's the heritage of metal spinning. It's the heritage of who we are, the heritage of these products, and obviously we're using these same metal spinning techniques someone would have used thousands of years ago to make these highly functional, beautiful pieces. So for us, it's about making products that last a lifetime. So these aren't your typical off-the-shelf, mass-produced Tesco's wok or pans or whatever. These are, like you say, these are going to be passed down through generations. These are heirlooms, precision, quality, craftsmanship, you name it. And there's aspects of this cookware range that we're going into, and we're starting off with cookware range, and this could easily expand depending on how well this really takes off. And there's aspects of this cookware range that I think really stand out, and it's the sustainability side of it as well. So the tin lining, for example, we've opted tin lining. Unlike another stainless steel pan, for example, when it's damaged, you're chucking it away and replacing it, whereas tin line can be re-tinned. So it's the continual use of this as well. And we've used cast iron handles, for example. Again, rather than letting them fade away, they can actually be re-seasoned. So it's that reusability of it. These are going to be products that can last a lifetime. And I think it's that commitment behind that craftsmanship of the heritage that really makes us stand out. I suppose it's also the made in Britain. I think it's the made in Britain answer to the French-made Morbier or Le Cruciate. I think this is making a stamp on the map, saying we're here and we're here to stay as British craftsmen. The revival of British craftsmanship is in these pans. And I suppose it's about taking the same pride we have in metal spinning and applying it to the products that reflects our values of quality, longevity, sustainability. And I mean, the whole experience has really put my test to the skill. So like I say, the experience I've learned in the 12 and a half years as a marketer at Excell, it's been really rewarding. A lot of stress, don't get me wrong. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this. But it's like taking something that we've done for years in the industrial sector and now bring it into your home kitchen. It's offering a piece of British craftsmanship that people can use and cherish. Yeah, and like I say, I'm proud to be introducing a product that blends a traditional skill with modern contemporary needs.
And what sort of timeline? Because I think last time I looked, there was a a placeholder. It was coming soon.
Yeah.
So when do you expect the products to launch, and what sort of plan do you have? Because I assume you're going to launch one or two, but there's really a plan for more. So what's the
Oh,
timeline?
100%. Yeah, we've got a bit of a roadmap at the moment being put in place. To begin with, we're going to be launching on the 1st of December this year, ready for the Christmas festival period. We're looking at a range of 4-size copper saucepans, 3-size chef pans, and 3-size frying pans. And we've got ambitions to really grow that product range to your sugar bowls, to your fruit bowls, you name it. But then we've looked at the potential as well of an outdoor range, like a barbecue range, for example. But then it's also looking at, okay, is there other aspects of heritage craftsmanship that we can really explore, including decorative home decor pieces, lighting, lampshades, you name it. So there's a lot of potential at the moment. At the moment, we're so focused on this particular range that we're then looking at, okay, is there room for more? What else can we do with this? And like I say, the potential is massive. At the moment, the sky's our ceiling type thing. So yeah, we're aiming high, that's for sure.
Okay. Uh, Talking of aiming high or awards, anyway, I think it's a year and a bit ago I saw you pick up a top 100 award from the Manufacturing magazine, back in the delights of the NEC. Can
Yeah.
I ask you a little bit about that, and particularly how it felt to be sort of being recognised in a national award, but working within an SME? And a lot of the
Yeah.
purpose of this show is to shout about SMEs and draw a bit of attention to us all. So tell us a little bit more about the award and how it was.
Yeah, I mean, to be nominated and to win an award, I mean, that was a massively humbling experience. Obviously, standing there shoulder to shoulder with some of the country's finest men and women in our industry, it was a phenomenal experience. I suppose it wasn't just in recognition of my role. I mean, it was in recognition of the hard work and the passion of everyone here at Excell. I mean, as an SME, we don't always have the same resources as larger organisations. But what we do have is that agility and that creativity and a real desire to make a difference. And that really came through for me in that recognition. It was an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come as a business, sort of the type of recognition and reminder that the work we do as individuals for smaller companies really does make an impact, not just on our teams, but the industry as a whole. But yeah, it was a massive privilege to be part of that and to help shed a light on British manufacturing and what it can achieve.
Okay. Excuse me. So talking of the company, and it's obviously a company full of very skilled people, and a
Yeah.
large element of it is a sort of a craft. So that leads me into thinking about the skills gap, which obviously is talked about very much, in particular for SMEs. So can I ask how it impacts on Excell, and really what the company's doing to address it, what your work are with apprenticeships, and really how you're trying to shape the company going forward in terms of staffing?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the skills gap. I mean, we're not the only one. It's a massive challenge that's definitely been growing over the last few years, especially in our sector, where demand for skilled workers is just outpacing the supply. Unfortunately, and the reality is that many industries are struggling to fill these roles because we don't have enough people with the right skill to keep up with the demands of obviously modern manufacturing. Um, this is particularly true in precision engineering and metalworking, and where traditional craftsmanship is still key. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of metal spinners we're hearing who with their closure, their retirement, that ends their skill. That skill hasn't been passed on. It is really, really sad to hear. Um, there's also a need for people to understand how to work with new technologies as well. That's something that we've experienced ourselves with G coding, for example, and the turning lathe, things like stepping into another realm of manufacturing. But yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to address this gap is the investment in apprenticeships. I mean, apprenticeships are a great way of bringing young people, giving them hands-on experience of day-to-day life in manufacturing, learning a trade. And they're not learning just theory either, they're learning real-world skills that are highly valued by employers across our industry. And Excell, we've had a lot of success doing this. We run our own apprenticeship schemes as well. We're closely connected with our local college as well for T-level engineering, helping shape the course. I mean, we're a board member on that board, helping create that connection between business and education and really shaping the course to, I suppose, provide real value for that course. So students can go into a world with expectations and businesses are there ready to welcome these people in with open arms who are ready for day-to-day life in manufacturing. I suppose it's not just about training people for specific roles either. It's about creating, I suppose, a wider cultural shift where we want to see trades and manufacturing as valuable, skilled careers. Obviously, there's a stigma with manufacturing that it's this dirty, grimy process. And you'll find a majority of it is not actually. I mean, metal spinning has an element of that to a degree, but with the emergence of CNC technology, the robotics, even AI now coming into effect, what you're seeing is say, a future of manufacturing that wasn't there, say, 30, 40 years ago, where it may have been, that stigma may have held true. But like you say, I mean, even women in manufacturing, it's good to see more and more young women as well entering the manufacturing field. And I think that like I say, is perfect for removing that stigma. It's not a male-dominant industry. It can be an industry with opportunity for women as well. So yeah, it's one of those industries. I think apprenticeships can be a really big answer to so much within manufacturing. I mean, it has so much to offer manufacturing for young people, especially in terms of job security, career progression, innovation. Like you say, it's I mean, we're fortunate to have a wide variety in terms of our demographics, the type of people who work here, and it's great to see that camaraderie, say, across all different age groups, all different backgrounds. Yeah, and a lot of that has stemmed from our commitment to young people in terms of apprenticeships, in terms of working with our local college, in terms of working with the University of Portsmouth. We work with the University of Portsmouth on something it's called a business consultancy project, for example. And basically what that entails is 4 students who are given a business scenario. So these students are usually working in like a business management sort of background, marketing background, you name it. But they're presented with a real world scenario that we're struggling with, or we've got a challenge for. So like, for example, we've got the students involved with the heritage range, creating a marketing strategy, creating a route to market. It's given us a valuable insight, fresh thinking, something that obviously we're stuck in our bubble sometimes, and it gives us an opportunity to learn different viewpoints, different ideas that we hadn't actually originally thought of. And at the same time, this is giving the students real world valuable experience, skill sets that they can then take away into their future careers and really build up their repertoire and their skill for potential business related jobs, like say in HR and finance and marketing, you name it. So yeah, it's I think businesses, I'd say I'd encourage businesses to make sure you have that connection with your local colleges and universities, because it really does sort of bridge that gap between obviously skill shortage and passing on that generational skill. Our average age at Excell now is about 32. We looked at about, I think it's about age 50 is the average age in Melton. So I mean, that in itself is a unique selling point for our business, because it provides that reassurance to our customers that we're going to be we're going to be around for the next few years, a lot longer than any other metal spinner at the moment. So it really provides that security for a lot of people's supply chains, a lot of business supply chains, and like you say, that's just all through our commitment to let's say apprenticeships and bringing more young people on board in our processes and passing that skill on.
Okay, excellent. So many people watch this show when it goes out at the weekend. So can
Yeah.
I ask you, is the topic or topics that you enjoy talking about, maybe to somebody in the kitchen at a party, at the pub, the kind of things you talk about when you're not sat at your desk talking to a camera? So, and I'm assuming it's not metal spinning. So what do you talk about at the weekend?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a Portsmouth Football Club, big fan of. Every weekend, I'm either there at the home games, try to get to as many away games as possible. But yeah, it's a big talking point for me. I mean,
Okay.
on Saturday evening, we managed to pull off a 1-1 draw against Leicester. So yeah, I mean that's the big talk at the moment in the workplace. We all got a bit of a spring in our step. We thought we were going to lose that game. So yeah, I mean that football was a big talking point for me at the moment. But yeah, I mean if you were to ask the missus, I mean they're going out to a restaurant, so I'm pointing out to Melton. Will you shut up, players? Yeah, so I think that just sticks with us once you're in the industry.
Okay. Well, football might link into the final question, which is also sort of a regular for this show. So, can I ask you, what have you got planned, or what do you hope to achieve in the next 12 months? So that can be on a personal basis, business basis,
Yeah.
the promotion of Portsmouth. What do you hope will happen in the next 12 months?
I mean, the next 12 months is sort of an exciting time anyway, because with the launch of the heritage range, I'd hope for that to be established and really taking off. Um, Going to that next step. I mean, we've got ambitions to work with chefs, restaurants, you name it, win endorsements and testimonials, that sort of thing. So, I mean, over the next 12 months, I'd hope to have established the heritage as a range, as a premium product manufacturer. Um, I mean, personally, I'm all about further developing the team at Excell. It's an exciting time for Excell as a business as well. We've got lots of transition going on in terms of growth, especially when it comes to training, development, and that sort of thing. So, like I say, we're very passionate about building up talent through apprenticeships and helping young people find their place here. As for me, I'm always striving to improve both professionally and personally. I'm hoping to continue learning and growing. I mean, there's so much technology out there that's coming into emergence. AI is a big talking point at the moment.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it's an exciting time, and I'd say it'd be really exciting to see where we end up as a business, as a new product range. Me personally, myself, over the next 12 months. So yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment. And I know personally, I'd say last year I got married to my first year anniversary this year. So
okay.
next year it's looking at. I mean, on a personal scale, could this progress now to settling down, having a family?
Then you will discover what being busy is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So, how do people find out more about Excel metal spinning, and how would they go around following you and contacting you? I guess, as you say, there's a lot of things happening. So, how are people going to keep up to track on what's going on?
Yeah, like I say, we've got a presence across all social media channels. You can find us on Instagram at Excel Milton Spinning, Facebook, as well as Twitter, or formerly Twitter. It's now called X. You can see our videos on LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. So yeah, we've got a presence on all those social media accounts. So if you want to follow us and see our journey, see how we produce things, and how your lampshade is made, please do give us a follow. Obviously, the alternative, you can follow us on our website as well at www.excelmeltspinning.com, where we share our latest news stories, case studies, you name it. And like I say, a lot of our photos and final product images and things like that can be found on there. So yeah.
Brilliant. So, before I sign off and say thanks, can I ask you, do you have a final sentence, question, observation, or what's the final thought that you'd like to sign off with?
No, just to say thank you for having me on today. I say it's been great to share a little bit about our world, what we do at Excel, even talk about the heritage range as well, because it's something we're really excited about. Obviously, as we continue to push forward, my hope is that more people realise the value of British craftsmanship, and hopefully this new heritage range can sort of capture that as well. I suppose it's how we can all play a part as well in preserving our industry for future generations. So here's to the next 12 months of growth, innovation, celebrating British manufacturing, and look what we have right here in the UK. And again, thank you so much for having me on this show.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Curtis. And I will wrap up with the usual words of saying to people, if you'd like to get in touch with the show with a comment, a suggestion, or in particular, if you'd like to appear on a future episode, please email us at inquiries@mtdcnc.com. Contact myself, Stuart Whitehead, or Joe Reynolds. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. From me, Mark Weymouth at the Sensor Specialist Plus Automation. Cheers. Have fun.